And allow me, let's join our hands as we welcome.
All right. Good evening, ladies. You see how I am tapping into the anointing? Seriously. Thank you so much for coming. It's always an honor to have you. We are always preparing and making sure everything is okay so that we can have you. And we look forward to the Friday. Like, I'm privileged to share with you a few of your minutes. I'll be sharing a bit of my testimony and how I have gotten transformed through this program, but also the things that have made me. You see, when Coach Hilda was talking, she was saying that it's okay for you to have an accountability partner. It's okay for you to have a coach. You need someone to hold your hand. Because that person as well, they are the first priority in their life. They may forget. They may get taken away by what matters most than you are. So don't ignore yourself. So joining this has been one of the best things of my life because it's transformed my career life. It's transformed my focus life. It's transformed me wholesomely. I'm a natural planner. I'm a natural time manager. I'm generally organized. I want things in order. But you know, there is something called talent and there is something called skill. And now she was actually getting into my work and talking about integrity. Focus Tribe, no. This year we are dealing with integrity of heart, skillfulness of hands. You may have the gift, you may have everything it takes, but the intentionality, the consistency, and the deliberate action you take towards doing what you're thinking about and what you're planning has to be in your inside. Like the skills we have, we acquire them from school. Education helps us. You see, we are trained into this. But you realize that even after acquiring the education, if you do not take a step to be deliberate, to do something handy, nothing changes. I think Coach Hilda again was talking about it. It's not that people do not know. People know. You actually know where you want to be. If I randomly asked where do you want to be, you know. You know your dream car, you know your dream life, you know your dream husband, you know your dream everything. We actually pinned it up on the vision board Friday here. You know. But the route to take you there is where the hustle is where the work is. So I want to share with you my journey with prioritizing and time management. Because after attending the John C. Maxwell Roundtables, one of the main topics there to be discussed is priorities. Something that is so important to you, something that is of high value to you, something that you place in the highest place in your life. That you cannot let go, that you will have to look at before anything else. When I attended that table the very first time, I was like, what? Who is this one digging into my mind? Because every day I have to take an evaluation of what matters most before anything else comes in. I cannot trade my daughter for anything. Even if we are on the call and anything happens to her, I will drop the call. Because the call will cease. But I'm going to have her. She needs this experience always and forever, and she will never forget this. When I die, you will never forget. You will forget easily. You will love me, but you will forget easily. But she will always remember that day she buried me. So she's a top priority in my life. My family is top priority because these are people that are going to be dear to me all the time. Now, when you start to live your life in such an assessment of what exactly matters most, is it work? Is it family? Is it your life, your health? It can also be your weight. Yes, it matters for you to look good. And you're like, I can't trade my looking good for anything. So you avoid to eat certain foods because you know when I eat these foods, then Aiken is coming. You like them, but you let them go because there is something that you place high value on. Prioritizing, as I attended the Beyond Success Roundtable, came so real to me that I had to come up with a journal. Mastering, how does this knowledge translate into something practical that you can do? I realized as the day begins, you have so many things to deal with. You have so much. Olunaku lujja n'ebyalo. Do you realize? Every day. Like even if you don't have a plan, for it will come with its plans. At least it will rain. And you have to change the attire. Someone will die. And they are your neighbor, your friend or something. And then you have to go. Something will happen. Now these days of social media. There is an update. There is this video. There is a TikToker. There is this. There is something waiting in that day. So, are you going to wait for the day to determine what is going to happen in your life? Or you want to take charge? Do you want to take charge and rule your day and determine what you want to receive? Because this is more of sowing, and you're sowing beans, and in expectation, you want to reap matoke. Does it happen? When you sow beans, what happens? So if you want the time to give you back what you want, then you need to command the time. You need to tell the time that from 9 to 10, that's my time for prayer. And the time will obey. When you don't tell it, it will not stop. It will pass and you won't have any results. Has it happened? Yeah. We have people out there, they are doing so much right now. And when we ask them after this, how did you spend your Friday evening? There is nothing like, I hate the word sitting up plan. Sitting up plan. Really? So you have let that time to pass. Yet you can take charge because people who are making impact are simply using the very time you have, the very time you're using to do something substantial. So we rolled out as Hold My Hand and we are like, let us set goals. But it is possible you haven't taken a step ahead. You are still having knowledge. Because you haven't commanded your time. You haven't managed yourself and organized yourself. Unfortunately, this is not something someone can do for you. I really love to hold your hand as a coach. I want to be a mentor and I want to be someone who is significant. But I can only say these words as I'm saying them. The biggest part of this is supposed to be done by you. So when I designed my priorities journal, it was a personal tool to equip you, yourself, do the work you're supposed to do. Because unless you set your 5 top priorities of the day, and you're like, these are the big stones. If I'm able to achieve this today, I'm good to go. But I cannot just do 5 things. Let me create that to-do list. I will eat, I will walk, I will do this, I'll sleep. But if I can be able to achieve these 5, this is a day that counts. There is a connection between your mind and your hands. You know, we have the apps on the phones and we think we can update our phones with what we want to do. We brain dump into our phones. But let me tell you, you brain dump and keep on storing. For the last 5 years, you go back to those notes and they are still there and you did do nothing about them. But there is something about holding a pen and writing it down. I always say, oftentimes we just call people. We just find ourselves responding to emails, opening emails. But did you know that you can intend who you want to call in a day? Because in your life, There are people who need you. There are people you need. Do you think the people you need are going to look out for you? Can you get intentional and say, today I must talk to Coach Fiona, and note it down, planning it ahead of time? Today I must reach out to Coach Hilda. Today I must reach out to my mom. But I have some two people who look up to me. Let me also extend grace to them and look out for them. They will feel good when they see a call from me, not demanding or asking for anything, but simply checking on them. And you know how much it yields when you are doing it intentionally, because you're going to call this person with a plan. We look at calls when they come to our phones and we are like, oyani, but there are calls you drop and be like, right? Because that person is in a priority. You are sure when they call, even if it's talking for 17 minutes or 20, it's worth it. So did you see that the calls you make are also significant and they make part of your life? Guys, you charge your phone. You invest airtime and data in it. It is not for everyone. Anyone who just thinks of calling you, no kwata, no kuba, no yogera negundi, be intentional. We subscribe to emails on internet. They ask you, can I talk to you? And then you're like, yeah, let me subscribe. You subscribe. And they dump your email with so much. Simanyi sells this, simanyi wali watching, wali Alison teaching z, wali was, and those emails are there doing totally nothing. Taking your time and taking your space. Which emails do you want to respond to? Which emails are a priority to you? Some of the emails that are so much a priority to me are the baby center emails. I so much love children, and I follow up the steps of growth. And I'm aware of what is going to happen to my baby when nothing catches me by surprise. So I'm always waiting for that notification that they have sent me an email. I open all their emails every day. But I have over 1,000 that I don't open because they are not a priority to me. You see, those are the little things. We said it here when we were starting habits. That it is these little things, if you're not able to take care of these little things, you waste time on emails, you waste time on WhatsApp, you waste time on TikTok, you waste time on Instagram. Before you know, these little things accumulate and they take over something substantial from you. Okay, as you have planned, one of the guys I love, he's the late Bakamale, said, life is 60% planning if you want to be successful. Then you have to plan 60%. The results yield you 40%. Byonna byokola biva mu the 40%. Bijja mu 40%. Naye woba wa planning the 60%. You know, you are like, I want the setup of the sitting should be like this, circular, and I've already achieved it because I planned it and came up with it. So even when I'm giving you a sitting arrangement, I see the order because that is what I predetermined and wanted to see. So if you want to organize your life, it means you have to get deliberate. And get the person you want to see in your head first. Get them onto paper. And after that, go ahead and do something about yourself. So, my priorities journal gives you space for your top priorities in a day. What do you want to do in a day? Which calls are you intending to reach out to? Which emails are you wanting to reach out? Which things need follow-up? I'm going to do that. Again, I had to. So I have learned to live an organized life. And I have saved so much time. I share time with my mentees. And they ask me, but you do so much. How do you do it? They're in my top priorities. So I can fix time in between whatsoever it takes. I get working breaks just for them because they are my priorities. Let me tell you how important it is for you to start prioritizing. Number one, you're going to improve your performance. We hear about peak performance and productivity, and we think it is a skill they are going to teach us. But one of the ways you're going to do this is by learning how to prioritize. Because as you're prioritizing, you write and you journal, you're going to produce better work. Olunaku lwokera no organizing kino kyenjagala okwambala kyambalireko kino neno earring nene ngatto. Buli akusanga akugamba ndi oli smart. But when time catches up on you and you just pick up anything. Hey, ladies, you relate? So you produce better work when you have prioritized and you have organized yourself and you're like, this is what I want to do. You produce better work. Okay? You boost your confidence. I'm confidently speaking about this because it has worked in me. Siri mubanyumiza stories za wakaima ne wangu. But it has worked in my own life. So I'm confident that you give me your 25K and get this journal. And if you do the job, you do the work, you get your hands dirty and you work on it, you will not even look for me for the second journal because the habits are going to get formed in you that it will just be automatic for you to live a life that is prioritized. So your confidence will be boosted because you are sure, if I'm wearing black, then this is the kind of lipstick I want. You're not going to waste time. This is the kind of earring I want. Nemumanyo bude bwetumanya nga tunonya earring egenda kweno. No ginonya nobiyiwa nobizaawo nobiyiwa no. There are very many actually advantages of you managing your time and prioritizing. But I also want to tell you what will happen if you don't do so. Okay? I would actually engage you if I had enough time. What has happened from what I have shared before you started to prioritize and give some things concern, prime concern, and give them attention? What has happened? Chicho ofunyem. Oina results is oino kutuwa. Walking accidents. You are making incorrect decisions. I just bump into you agitubeko wano wetulaga and you also there ready to gende. Only to remember, nabadde nino gende wagundi. Ochejjukira ate nga neno nayo maze okgenda. You waste money. Nze kyenayiga ku bagagga kye batusinga. I was reading a book by Evans Bayambala bagagga bye batusinga. Those guys don't even dare lose 100 shillings. They tip you ng'agenderedde. Naye mbuno ogambe mbuno ogenda munyola omukono toyina change kale abeera waawo n'olinda n'omuwa balance we. Yes, and I also do that because I learned it. Abagagga bye batusinga. This is another thing that happens when you don't prioritize. You lack focus. You've heard the word focus tribe, focus tribe. I gave birth to Focus Tribe before it came into existence. And actually, when Coach Hilda gave me an opportunity to be on radio, you listen to my audios a year and a half ago. I'm talking to the Focus Tribe. Because I learned that the most expensive commodity is focus. Intelligence is cheap. Abantu abayina amagezi n'okuyiyayiya bangi. Tebalina results. Ekintu akikolako kati n'akivaako. Naye omuntu afokasinze akola kyonna kye kitwala paka lubadde ki? Intelligence is so cheap. The most expensive commodity right now. Focus. In the world of social media. Because the notifications are coming from here, there, here. This one is informing you about this, the other. If you're not able to focus and say, by the end of today, I must watch my video of the mentorship and I have to do the assignment. Olunaku luyitawo, n'oluddako ne luyitawo, ne wiki neeyitawo, n'omwezi ne guyitawo. Ne bakubuuza, what did you do? Ndi busy. Busy but unproductive. So you realize that it is very, very easy for you to lose focus. When you have priorities, you are like in the morning hours. It is provided for in the My Priorities Journal. In the morning hours, I want to accomplish these 3 things. Ekintu ekikuyingiramu ogamba sooka onnindeko bino ebisatu birina okuggwa. Bwe biggwa n'olyoka oyingizaamu ebiki? kubanga olina wootadde ebirowoozo byo. Nomanya the afternoon hours nina kye nina okukolako. You assess and you prepare and you plan for yourself. In the evening, I can do everything else but bino bye bisooka. And before you go to bed, you plan the next morning so that the day doesn't happen to you. You happen into that day. Do you know days happen to us? You surprise that day. You command it. You tell it to them, Nange, I'm not ready for the emotions of not feeling moody. Patricia was asking me, you're pregnant. How come you are this active? You're doing this. I command my time. I get hormonal imbalances. I feel lousy. I have the sleepy tendencies. I also have all the emotions every woman has. But I'm intentionally living my life. I'm not letting the emotions tell me what to do. Even when I am in pain, last Friday I came and I told Coach Hilda, you know what? Today I've just showed up really. And the focus tribe, I was telling them on the call in the morning, I was telling them I have pelvic pain. But until I have mentioned it, you guys saw me trying to do something here and there. Because I have to make use of that time. When I don't show up, you miss a lot. I miss a lot. So I take charge of the emotions and command them and tell them, you are here, yes, thank you. But I also have something to do, and it is here. And guess what? It is yielding much profit. Even my pregnancies now, no, they can't manage putting me down because I have to be busy until I go to labor. They know, they are responding. I surprised them. I was like that for Caris. I left the round table and went to the hospital. And I came back being cared for, pampered, and I was like, Neka Kati, how can I just be here? Coach Hilda saw a link and said, Nakawere, where umuzeko? And I'm like, no, roundtables are engaging. People will be talking. I'm just facilitating. And guess what? I made roundtables when I'm in Nakawere. And lives that were impacted then cannot remember that the Nakawere was the person facilitating. You imagine that? So when you wake up and you prioritize and you do what you're supposed to do, you're actually saving a lot more of others behind you. Buli lwewega yalira gwe notakola ky'olina kukola abantu abalala ng'omutwalo ogumu abali emabegawo. Kubanga me, I'm only taking care of the focus tribe. I'm not going to take care of the entire world. I'm not called for the entire world. Maybe you're there and you're taking care of the positive vibers. Buli lwotakola ky'olina kukola obafiiriza. So take charge of your life ng'okimanyi waliwo abalala ng'omutwalo gumu. John C. Maxwell says, introverts impact about 10,000 people in their lifetime. When are you starting on that journey of impact? And yet you're not an introvert. I said, go to an introvert. When are you starting on that journey? When are you starting? Would you want to choose to start today? Do you want to choose today? Bambi, choose yourself. Tewevam. Tewevam feka tukuvemu na igwe tokulachi. Tewevam. So these are the things that really inspire and help you cultivate results. Because as you're getting things done, number one, you capture what you really want to get done. So you go ahead and have the clarity of it. Kubanga kasito kirowozaako nino bera kuthobani. Then olowooza lwe ekyo lunampa emirembe. Kye kinanyanguyiza okukola bye njagala okukola. Munda byenze sijja nko mu kakondo. Because I'm always here and there. Naslaying antya. So you are able to capture, to clarify on everything that you want to do. Then you get them organized. You are able to reflect. And finally, you engage. You capture. You have the clarity. Okay? You organize. You reflect. And finally, you engage. In Entebbe Woma, you feel like you don't want to leave, eh? But I have to. Because discipline has to the scriptures say, Omoya wa nabi, afugibwa nabi. When I learned to prioritize, I even learned to have that discipline of knowing what to do when I have to do it and why, that I don't have to continue doing things that have to come to an end. So it's been a very wonderful privilege, Coach Hilda. Thank you so much for sharing with me.
Do we have the journals? How much are the journals? 25. And who would love to have a journal? Anyone? I can see hands, so we should give them out. Journals, have someone help you. Where is Simon? A hand here, there's a hand there. I can never get enough of journals. It's one way that has kept me so organized that I keep going back and forth, my priorities, my goals. I keep looking at them. They keep staring at me. And they keep reminding me, we are here. You set us, so you must do us. So it's one way to keep yourself organized. Sometimes, remember we said that if you keep doing certain habits over and over again, your body gets used and is like, we've been doing these same things. But now, Kanga muko by introducing another habit of journaling, okay? Hey, kanga mu your former habits and say that, I've introduced a new habit of journaling. And journaling is a very huge tool. When it comes to your mental health, when it comes to your organization, when it comes to your prioritizing, it's really, 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 really a big one. So thank you so much for those that have supported. And if you still need, Coach Fifi still has them. You'll actually get to have one, okay?